Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is history professor Jed Peterson, who was actually on the show about a year ago, about this time, talking about a production that was coming to Cedar Rapids called Black Women Walking, and you're bringing it back.
Yeah, absolutely. So excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
So, Black Woman Walking. So, for those who don't have an encyclopedic memory of past culture crawls and can go back 100 shows to remember what we talked about last year, tell me a little bit about Black Women Walking.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't be more excited about this. Again, thanks for having me here today, Dennis. I love the show. And yeah, Black Women Walking is this amazing production. It's the story of 12 African American women throughout American history who have created substantially to our understanding and our history. We have women such as Sojourner Truth, Bessie Coleman, Fannie Lou Hamer, Ida B. Wells, so many more. And we tell their story through dance, through spoken word, through poetry, through music. There's a gospel section that my mom went to it last year, and that was her favorite part. She's a big gospel music fan. So if you're interested at all in American history, because it's the story of 12 African American women, but it's really a story of America and a story of overcoming and an achievement and hard work. It's really just uplifting. It's family friendly. It's there for everybody. There's not going to be anything that's going to be too much for younger kids. And it's just a really kind of uplifting, but also heart-wrenching and emotional story of our past told through the lives of these 12 Black women. So it's really a story. I mean, honestly, it's a story. You said I'm a history professor. It's a story for everybody. It really is. It's a great story for us to be telling right now.
Is the cast the same as what you presented a year ago?
For the most part, we have most of the cast will be returning. We're missing a few, unfortunately, of our local actresses. So it's mostly going to be actresses from Arizona and other places. So it's not as local as it was last year. And that sounds like a bad thing, and it is. We're really sad we couldn't make it work. But the truth is that a lot of the people that were involved in the show last year are now doing other things and are being employed with other productions and have busy lives, and so this kind of helped jumpstart some of them going to bigger and better things. So it's like your offensive coordinator for a football team goes and gets a head coaching job somewhere else. We're very happy for all of them, but we're going to miss them this year. So, but it's mostly the same cast. And I will tell you one thing about our actresses that are coming, especially the ones from Arizona. They were blown away by Iowa. They could not believe the reception they got, how well they were treated, the food. We took them over to the Cedar Rapids Art Museum, had a really neat exhibit at the time, and we went over and visited that. We met with some local artists and went over to Nubo, and they just loved being here. So they're very excited to be coming back and doing this again, which I think that will bring an extra level of energy. Last year they were a little like, what's happening? What's going on here? And this year they're like, oh, we're really excited to be coming back. So I think that's
Yeah.
a good,
I'm coming
that's
to
a good thing
Iowa.
for us. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Kevin Taylor, who's the director of the production, said he's like, and he's a local Iowan who's now working on Broadway with some award-winning productions, and he's just rising up through the top. And he said, yeah, they were all really, really impressed with Iowa. So that's a good thing for us that we were able to put on such a great show last year that they want to come back too.
As a history teacher, Jed, you remember and are exposed to stories like these every day as a part of your job. When
Sure.
honestly, for most of it, when you say Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, it's like, oh yeah, I kind of remember studying them in history class.
Yeah.
Are there
Right.
any stories that are a part of this show that you didn't know before?
Yeah, I'm gonna a few of them. I think the one I'll probably spend a little bit of time on is Bessie Coleman. I'd heard the name. I really didn't know much about her. She was an African American woman who was a pilot back in the 1920s, and she was right in there with Charles Lindbergh and all that group that was being very innovative, and she just had an incredible career and broke all sorts of barriers. And I did not know very much about her, and so to have her be a part of this show And so that's why there's a couple people that you probably will have known, and then there'll be some people that you might not have heard of. And so yeah, I was really impressed with that with the Bessie Coleman story. I did not know much about that, so but it was neat. They have a lot of visuals as well in the production. And so they had lots of videos while the actress was talking, and of the plane flying around, and it was really pretty a really neat addition to the story that I wasn't expecting, and I learned a lot from that one.
What's your favorite story that is a part of this?
Um, oh wow, that was a great question. I'm gonna say, hmm, actually, I think honestly, Sojourner Truth. She was an incredible woman who got out of slavery and just worked tirelessly. And a lot of times we kind of think, oh, a lot of these activists were fighting for African American rights, and they absolutely were, but they're also fighting for rights for everybody, you know. And so she was really instrumental in rights for women, in early education movements. She was very instrumental in lots of ways that just any American today can see the benefits of. And so I think that's the neat part of her story that I hadn't necessarily connected with, was that it really was her story was really about not just herself and her life and her small circle or group, but really how can we make our country a wonderful place that everybody could live in. And I think that's a great message.
You mentioned that there are a lot of different artistic disciplines that
Yeah,
are represented. It'd be easy to think of this as, oh, some women are going to come in and read some narrative and again tell some
right,
stories, which would be fun in and of itself. But
right.
there's multimedia. You mentioned dance.
Yeah.
There's a lot of visual aspects to this as well.
And it touches on lots of key parts of African American history, and so there's a section there with traditionally the historical Black college where they were doing marching bands, and so they have dancers out there who are, as if you're doing a halftime show, for dance. So yeah, there's definitely lots of motion. Like I said, the gospel section is, oh my gosh, the Janice Jackson is the actress who plays that role, and she just, I'd never heard anything like her voice. It was just it reached right down inside of you and grabbed your heart and wouldn't let go. It was amazing. So I definitely feel like and it does a really good job of weaving through that, So there'll be some narration, there'll be some talking, and then like Harriet Tubman, they show her like as she's moving through the swamps, trying to lead people to freedom, and so you have, yeah, it's really quite incredible what they can do with kind of a minimalistic set. There's not. It's not like going to see, like, Les Mis, where they've got the whole background of the city, but they do so much with it, and it really does bring you in.
Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, and a marching band show.
Right? And gospel. It's
Yeah, something for everybody. It's
right.
Black Women Walking, returning to
Yeah,
Ballantyne Auditorium at Kirkwood Community College, March 1st and 2nd, correct?
right. So we have the first production Saturday night, March 1st at 7:30, and then we have a production Sunday, March 2nd at 3 p.m. So an evening one and then a matinee. Tickets are $30 for adults. They are $10 for students, and they're free for Kirkwood students, staff, and faculty. So if you're a part of the Kirkwood community, and you definitely can come for enjoy the show for free. And we'd love to have as many people come out as possible. The website to get tickets, I'm suddenly blanking on. It's an Eventbrite link, so we're not. Oh, I should have had that up anyway. So it's I think it's Eventbrite / BWW 2025.
And for those watching the video, we'll have the link in the show notes. Uh,
Right.
and if you're listening on the radio, you can visit Eventbrite, search Black Women Walking. It'll probably
Yeah,
take you right to it.
This is why you're the professional, Dennis. Absolutely. Go to Eventbrite, look up Black Women Walking, and there'll be tickets there. Oh my gosh, that could have been a lot easier. Thank you.
A great time during Black History Month to be thinking, as Jed said, about the sacrifices and work that have been done, not just to make things better for a certain corner of the population, but to make things better for everybody in America and around the world. Again, Black Women Walking coming back. If you missed it last year, this would be a perfect chance to remedy that gap in your education, or if you did, be a great show to be able to see again.
Love
Jed,
it.
good luck with it, and thanks so much for being with me.
Thank you so much, Dennis. You're the best.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio most weekdays at 10:30, on demand at kcck.org/culture, or subscribe using your favorite podcast player. Watch our videos on the KCCK Facebook and YouTube channels. Our producer is Lydia Kilgore. The Culture Crawl theme is composed by Vivian Shanley. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.